Well, welcome to a beginning class for watercolors. I'm really excited to share some things that I have learned in painting with watercolors. Always want to have paper towel with you because a wonderful thing with watercolors is if you make a mistake and you need to correct it, I can come in very quickly and you can almost erase it. Now, sometimes it's not going with the darker colors, that might be a little bit more difficult. So, in order to paint a watercolor painting, of course, you have to have something on the paper. So, for that, ideally, you're going to have a pencil. For something that we're going to do today, that's a very simple activity and fun activity, is going to paint these little hearts. So how I got these hearts is I had these are basically cookie cutters, and you can do something like this, and then of course with your pencil, I have to press down really hard. It doesn't matter if the pencil shows. So we are going to paint these hearts. One of the methods with watercolor is wet on wet painting, and I am going to fill this little heart with water. I'm going to have to keep an eye on my light to help me to know so that I don't go outside the lines. So what color do we want? I'm going to use some of this lovely purple, and I've gotten, a good bit on my brush, but that is so wet. Look at that. All I have to do is touch my brush to that paper where that water is, and it moves into interesting shapes. I deliberately left a couple of spots that had no water because I wanted very bright white spots. The lightest your painting will ever be is the white of that paper. You will never be able to create a white whiter than that. So if you want something to have that white as a pretty contrast, see, isn't that nice? Then you will leave a couple of spots where you don't put water. Now I'm going to come back in. See how the water is kind of dragging it out? It won't stay in those spots. It wants to spread out with the water. The other thing that's fun, I got to be very careful, is you can tilt it, and look at that. You can have your watercolors move with your water. So if you said, I really want that spot to be dark over there, then what I would do is slightly elevate the painting and let it dry exactly like that. I will not want to paint anything else on this right now until that dries completely. If you're in a hurry, you can use a hair dryer. The other thing that we can do is add another color. And we'll just let that dry. So there's the small heart completed. It's totally dry now. So you do the same thing with the other two. I'm not going to do one at a time, but I'm going to just go ahead and start to paint these. Doing what I had already told you before, which is filling in inside the line with my water. is basically that. And always remember to sign your work. So when it's completely dry, you can take a pencil or a pen. So I didn't really like the background and I chose to use this pink instead. You see where the yellow had bled out? I can just come in here with a little bit of this pink paint. You don't have to do a background color if you don't want to. Always remember, clean out your brush, reshape your brush, and sign your work. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have some wonderful times watercoloring, and we'll see you next time.